Hey everyone, welcome to Comics with Bueller. As always, I'm Bueller. Today is episode 150 of the brand new Coffee and Comic Show. And as you can see, I'm not alone. I got my good friend Bob here with me. Bob, how you doing today on the final episode of the Coffee and Comics video?
I'm emotional.
Yeah?
I'm definitely emotional. This is bittersweet. It's been a beautiful ride.
Yeah?
But, I don't want it to end, and here we are.
Yeah, so, this is the 150th episode. This is the final episode. Mm-hmm. We're back at the original table where Bob very first appeared on the Coffee and Comic Show. This is the actual table and the chairs and everything, and here he is. And we're just kind of going old school with the old Spider-Man poster in the background. The final chapter. That's what this is. This is the final chapter. It's been about 2.5 years since we started doing this together. The first 50 some odd episodes was just myself, and then this guy joined up, and then it kind of took off from there. And it's been a crazy ride ever since. But life is changing for both of us.
Absolutely.
And it's, onward and upward. I'm excited for the new adventures. I'm sad as you are as well. I will tell you guys right now, I read all the comments and you guys wrecked me this morning. There's nothing worse than a 46-year-old man blubbering at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday,
Yeah.
And thank you so much for all the lovely comments and stuff. And I read every one of them. I said thank you to every one of them. And I tried to pick out the ones that really hit home. And we're going to get to those in a little bit. But one thing we always do is start off with the coffee that we're drinking. Mm-hmm. And today we are drinking from Mocha Express, the official coffee shop of Comics with Bueller. If you're ever in town, ask Bob, because I'll probably be out somewhere else. But the coffee's on him, so there you go. I bought Bob's drink today, and Bob is drinking the Bueller. How is the Bueller this morning?
Let me try. I've taken some sips off of it.
You get some Bueller in your mouth. Get it in there. Taste that Bueller.
Don't do that, man.
No, that's good.
It's a tasty coffee.
Yeah, it's got really a little bit of going to the ball in there, too.
Yeah, you made it a foo-foo drink. You put whipped cream on it.
Whipped cream. That's going to the ball. Yeah. So you're going to the ball with a little bit of Bueller in your mouth.
Oh my gosh. I'm not drinking that now.
You love it. I'm drinking the Bueller, too.
I know you are.
Oh.
How do you like yourself in your mouth?
God, that's great, Bob. Inappropriate. You know what?
Who's being inappropriate?
I don't know.
There you go.
The Bueller, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to our final episode.
Absolutely. But it is really good. It is really good.
It is very good. It's obviously it's good as the Bueller. What do you expect? So if you come into town, Mocha Express, ask for the Bueller. Get a little bit of Bueller in your mouth.
Which is a peanut butter mocha.
Bob loves it.
Yeah, it's really good.
That's good.
This guy,
I'm trying to lighten the mood.
I know you are.
It's going to be a rough show to get through. So anyway, Mocha Express has been there from day one, along with a bunch of other sponsors. Thank you so much to Mocha Express for always providing us with wonderful coffee.
Yeah.
Week after week after week. And
waking us up.
I was just there picking these up. I'm like, this is the final episode. The owner there is kind of sad as well. So, yeah. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get into a rundown of today's final show. We'll start off with some announcements and some thank yous as normal. We do have our first 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. We'll do our topic. Our topic today is just, memories of the show, what you guys shared with us in the comments from the preview video, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We have our final 5 from Bird City Comics as well. We'll do our Was It Good segment, and I got a couple books I read. I had to read one of my favorites came out, so I had to read it. That's brought to you by Comics on Coffee. We'll also tell you who won the giveaway for that as well. And then we have our random thoughts. We're going to talk about Boba Fett. Or should we just call it The Mandalorian?
You should just call it The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Season 3 Mandalorian. Part 2 or whatnot. We'll talk about that a little bit. And then, we'll wrap up the show and call it good. So
sounds good.
That's what's on the agenda today. So first off, we'll start off with some announcements and thank yous. I want to say thank you to all our Patreon members for all your support. In the past Patreon members who are no longer Patreon members, thank you so much. Every dollar has helped. It's helped this show evolve. It's paid for me building sets and making this better and getting better cameras and better lights. That all that Patreon stuff helps. And we got a new Patreon. Leonardo is a new Patreon member, so thank you so much. If you want to join our Patreon, it's $3.99 a month, the price of one comic book a month. If you think I'm worth one comic book a month, if you think Bob is worth one comic book a month, please join our Patreon. It keeps the lights going. It's going to keep the wheels rolling.
Yep.
And it's going to
keep everything flowing.
Keep everything flowing, man. So
there we go.
Thank you so much, everybody. I want to say thank you to all the people that gave super chats last week. I know we got a few in there from last week. Thank you so much. I think Ronnie Boy did. I also think Rogue Trader did. I know I'm missing a couple of my apologies. We had a couple actually last night or the night before for the auction. So thank you to those people. The super chats help out quite a bit. And feel free to leave a super chat in this show as well, because this is also my 4-year anniversary.
Amazing.
This is my 4-year. This week is my 4-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. And last year at this time, I announced, "Hey, a year from today, I have a goal. My goal is to sell my house, buy a bus, fix it up, and live in it by March." And honestly, at that time when I said that, I didn't know for sure if I was going to make it. But here we are, and guess what? It's happening.
Yeah.
And it's happening because of you guys. And I couldn't have done it without you guys at all. And here, March 1st, this guy moves into a new house, and this guy is homeless. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everybody.
It was a voluntary.
Yeah, this YouTube doesn't pay nothing. Anyway, so today's our 4-year anniversary of the channel. It's been here 4 years. I want to say congratulations to two close friends. They also started this same week. Comic Tom started 2 days before me, and Reggie started 2 days after me. So both of those guys are celebrating their 4-year anniversary this week. So it was a pretty 4 year. You imagine us three guys coming on in the same week 4 years ago. It was a pretty big moment. We're all good friends. So the West Coast kind of woke up.
Yeah, it did.
On that day 4 years ago. So let's see. I also want to say we have another auction coming this weekend as well. We just got done with Bob's auction this past weekend. Mm-hmm. Did really well. Thank you, Bob. Still in the process of getting everything packed up and shipped out. I think you said everything by Tuesday is the goal.
Yep.
So this weekend we're doing the second part of the auction, probably Friday and Saturday. Friday for sure. And a lot more books to be sold.
I got a ton of great books.
Yeah, so join us this weekend and help Bob pay for that big hot tub that he's been wanting.
The hot tub.
I know what it is. His lady wants a hot tub.
Right.
Because the back of my house overlooks like a big mountain, and there's a Mount Hood, and there's like a river.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. A new baby making tub.
There you go.
So anyway, join us this coming weekend for the auction. It should be a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and get into our first 5. Brought to you by Bird City Comics.
Sounds good.
Go to their website, enter the code Bueller, save 10%. Buy some books. They got back issues now as well, which is kind of cool. Bob, you want to go first?
Sure thing. Brought some old Avengers. So I got Avengers number 170.
Nice.
And I got 173.
Are these ones going to be for sale?
They will be for sale next weekend. Then we got number 185. And we got 189. Love that Hawkeye cover. And then we got number 198.
Nice.
That old Gundam looking cover. And there you go. It's my first 5.
First 5. Awesome. I got my first 5.
All right.
This is sitting on top of my first 5. I want to say what this is real quick.
Go ahead.
I've said this before. I have a van life wish list on my Amazon, and this was actually a item that was on my list. It's actually for the microphone. It's like a balancer type thing. So somebody got me this and a heater. The heater's actually in the van right now. So I just want to say thank you for these gifts. Like I said, these 2 were on my list. There's a bunch of other stuff on the list. If you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to. There's a link down below. There's only a handful of things more I'm looking for, but they're all just suggestions. They're not necessary. I've got everything I need, but the rest of the stuff is more quality of life type thing. So if you want to help me out, you're more than welcome to. If not, don't worry about it. But thank you so much for this. I did need this. And then the heater is great. And man, I turned that heater on. It heated that whole thing up in about 30 seconds.
Really?
It was awesome.
Nice.
Like, dang, I can throw away my old one. It was not doing very well. All right, so here's my first 5 right here. Let me grab these real quick. So I got some Spawn 300 action. Here is the sketch cover, I guess, by McFarlane. Here is the homage cover to the ASM 300. Man, hopefully they do more of those. This is probably my favorite one out of the Spawn 300s that came out. I don't know who did this one for sure, but I really like the glass in the background.
Stained glass.
Yeah, it's really cool. This one is it's that special for this one. It's the, I can't remember what it was called. It's like the I don't know. It's the Noctera special with the villain.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember the name of it.
Black something.
Yeah. And then I got this last one, Stray Dogs, number whatever, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Stray Dogs, like the little creepy one.
From It.
Yeah, there you go. And I didn't drop any.
Yay!
Yeah, remember last night? So rated comics last night. So there you go. That's my first 5, brought to you by Bird City Comics. Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Thank you, Bird City. They sent me a bunch of these, except for the Spawns. They sent me the other ones, and I got a bunch more I'm going to share for the final 5 as well. So it's pretty cool. They sent those out, and I like them.
Sweet.
Not bad. But that brings us to our topic. You all right? You gonna make this? I'm not kidding, man. I read these, and I'm trying to be up for this thing, but man, I was crying like a baby.
Yeah, I was pretty emotional myself.
And I was like, oh, it's just killing me and stuff, and it's just wonderful. I mean, good cry, but just everything I thought about this show and what I wanted to do and what I wanted it to kind of mean. It turns out that's exactly what it ended up doing, and I'm extremely grateful for that, and to read the comments and to see my, I don't know if you want to use the word vision, but to see the response and the areas where I wanted to evoke an emotion, and it was there, and that was really, really awesome. So thank you so much to everyone who left a comment. We've got a few pages here of comments. I wish I could read them all. I did read them all, and as you guys check, there's thank you personalized to every one of them. And but these are the ones we picked out. So I will go ahead and go first. And we're going to give it a shot. And so here we go. The first one is from Ganjabar's Medium. I think you met that person, correct?
I did.
Said, Comics with Bueller was the first comic channel I found a year and a half ago when I discovered this hobby. I immediately started binge watching all the Coffee and Comics episodes. Thank you very much. Every time a new one came Monday, it was like a morning talk show about the latest topic in comics. You always got multiple perspectives in a topic and always some good laughs. The first time you guys read one of my comments was so rad. That's pretty cool. He said rad.
Rad.
It made me feel as part of the community. I still haven't found any content coming close to it. I am truly honored to have found you guys and had the privilege to witness new episodes each Monday. And having found this awesome community, I'm going to miss coffee and comics. But I'm also stoked to see what the future holds for both of you. Thank you, Bueller and Bob, for everything. You both have done more for me and others in the community than I think you realize.
This is going to be tough, man. Oh. Ganjabars, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you at Rose City Comic Con. I know you were there with your girl or your wife. I don't remember.
It was his girlfriend. His wife was at home.
But I'll never forget him running up and pointing out that he was a watcher of the show and knew exactly who I was and wanted to thank me for getting him into some comics. And it was a special moment. And I really appreciate the comment, my friend. Very heartfelt. And, it blows me away to see what the type of impact that we've had. It's
and he's a younger guy.
He is a younger guy.
So that's pretty cool. Mainly we affect older men.
But it's good we got that younger generation.
Yeah. It doesn't happen very often, but every now and then we get one of them. That sounded bad.
Yeah, don't say that again.
Yeah. Thank you, Ganjabar's Medium. I really meant a lot to me, my friend. All right, here we go. Next one is from Roger. How you doing, Roger? He's probably watching right now in the live chat here this morning. How's everybody doing, by the way? Thank you so much for joining us today. We usually get like 100 to 150 people sometimes and stuff. And if you're here watching for the final, coffee and comic show, thank you so much. That's one thing I've made it a point to wake up every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to be a part of this premiere. On the West Coast, it's 5 o'clock here,
Yeah.
But, it premieres at 5 o'clock in the morning, because it's 8 o'clock in the East Coast and stuff, and that's when people start going to work. And I always wanted it to be early morning, like on the very first day of the week, and kind of hopefully give you a little smile on your face when you're heading into work, because work sucks.
It does.
Well, hopefully the coffee show and comics give you a little smile before you went to work. So,
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys watching right now and everything.
I'm so glad to be with you all this morning. I cleared it with my boss so
Awesome.
I could be there. So good to be here with you guys.
There you go. Okay, Roger says, so many great episodes, it's hard to choose. Every episode I cherish as most as the previous. Here's why. After moving to a new state, I had no friends or family near me. I've already read these.
I know.
I've already read
I
these.
have too.
Oh, my micro circle of friends is mostly dogs. I didn't understand that, but you know what?
I get it.
Okay. Stray dogs? I don't know. It was so nice to find your channel once I got back into collecting after a 10-year break. Once I got a smartphone and started watching you live on Mondays, I felt like I had a huge circle of friends just from what little I participated in the chat. There were so many people who shared my love of the hobby, and it really helped me with that stranger in a strange land feel. It was amazing to hear you and Bob or your special guest voices your feelings and opinions about comics, art, stories, and the industry in general. I feel like I've made friends, even if it's just in the chat. I'm not only happy but humbled that I found the Coffee and Comic Show. It gives me the feeling of home when I hear you and Bob and your amazing comic book banter. Come on, man! You guys are just killing me. Thank you both so much. The feeling of home is not easy duplicated, but that's what I get out of watching you guys. Faves would be the tooth episode when the tooth fell out. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I haven't worn it since.
Right.
I said, forget it, I'm not wearing it no more. Comic Book Wars, that was a lot of fun. And my top pick is when you guys started doing Was It Good? Great times, guys. Still can't get over Liefeld's lack of patience and kindness for that interview that had complications. After that, Liefeld books don't seem to end up in my stack every week. I can't wait to see where the bus takes you, Travis. Sincerely, a simple man named Roger. I'm gonna need a Kleenex, man.
What's amazing to me is that in a lot of the circles that I run in from doing counseling and things like that, there's a lot of shade thrown on relationships over the internet, saying that they're not real, and it's comics like Roger's that show that you can make connections and touch people in ways that you don't have to be in person, and to understand and see how many people that we've touched on this show is just truly flattering and humbling. And Roger, I love you, man. I'm so glad that you gained a family through this comic book channel, and you guys are gonna kill me this episode, man.
I do think that, when I look at the chat, there are friends.
Yeah.
And I think I make a point to say hello to everyone in the chat. Good morning, how's the coffee? And and then everyone starts doing it as well. John's saying hello to everyone. You're saying hello. Roger's saying hello to everyone. people you never met. You become your friends. You know, it just is what it is. And I'm sitting here, I'm reading these comments, and I'm looking at all the likes for all the comments, and there's like 15 likes, 10 likes, and people are reading the comments.
Yeah.
Going through there and reading all these comments and stuff because they're curious. They want to know. They feel connected. There is a connection to this show. And the connection to this show that I wanted to kind of do is to really bring it a community show to where it might not be live, okay, like a live stream, but it's the next closest thing. And you really we get time to actually read a comment, think about it, and, you know, talk about it. You know, it's not just on the spot. You're just kind of going. And I think people appreciate that. I think people appreciate, you know, that we read all the comments and then we picked them out. And when they did get their comment read, it meant something to them because we were going to talk about it, because we took the time to, you know, educate ourselves. Maybe we didn't agree with what they said, but we wanted to hear what they had to say.
Absolutely.
And talk about it and go from there. Maybe learn something on our end as well. So I really do feel as though that's one thing that we hit the nail on the head on that, and I think it's been pretty good. So
it's been amazing.
This next comment is the longest comment that we've ever read. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
You're up.
All right. This one comes from our good friend Eric Grigsby,
and he did this on purpose.
Yeah, I know he did.
And Eric is a local friend here, and someone I just got to know a little bit over a year ago. So,
yeah. Eric, we love you, bro. All right, here we go. He says, I knew this was coming, and this might seem a bit long-winded, but it should be said. When I first discovered Bueller's content, it was back in late 2019. I had just got back into comics after a 30-year break. The House and Powers of 10 stories were making such big noise over the summer of 2019 that it got me to walk back into a comic store and start reading comics again. My two children were 8 and 10 at the time, which made getting back into comics a lot easier as I was sharing this hobby with them. In 2020, as COVID became a thing, I ended up losing my job. My wife was able to keep her job, but was looking for the next step in her career at a large hospital. In early October 2020, my wife landed her dream job at OHSU in Portland. The tough catch here for me is that my current wife is not the mother of my two children, and that meant moving to Portland meant leaving my children in California with my ex-wife, who I share custody with. It's going to touch me so hard, man. I never missed a coffee and comic show live. The whole time I was back into comics. I started to feel like I knew Bueller and Bob on a personal level. On October 26, 2020, the 100th episode of the Coffee and Comic Show aired. By now, I knew I was moving to Portland, and I was having a very tough time emotionally dealing with leaving my children. I did not want to go, but we were sinking living in California with only my wife working. I had to make a tough decision, and that meant leaving my children to be able to continue to support them. Bueller and his daughter Paige on that 100th episode. I was so emotional watching this episode, feeling that father and daughter connection. Towards the end of that episode, Bueller thanks Paige for being there, and he starts to cry, then hugs her. It hit me so hard in that moment, the thoughts of me moving to Portland in the few months and leaving my daughter and son, that I fell to the ground and cried harder than I think I ever had in my life. Fast forward to early 2021, and I land in Portland with 0 friends. I knew thousands of people working as a DJ and architect in the Bay Area. I remember Bueller always talking about, if you come to Portland, hit Bob and I up and we will meet you at Mocha Express for coffee. I reached out to Bueller on Instagram and he got right back to me.
That doesn't happen very often.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sorry. Not one of my strong points.
My favorite memory of the show actually did not take place on the show. It was that first time meeting Bueller at Mocha Express. We sat and talked for over 3 hours, and I think we spent 10 minutes of that talking about comics. I found out that he had a very similar situation happen to him with his children when they were around the same age as mine. that he used to have to do the airport drop-offs and say goodbye to his children. He shared with me that the first time he had to say goodbye to his children at the airport, there was a person there who saw him crying, and that person told Bueller, "It gets easier." Bueller was now using this moment to tell me the same thing. He was right. It has gotten easier as I've gone through that moment more than a handful of times now. Bueller introduced me to Bob, John, Damien, and Sam, and he made me feel incredibly welcome to Portland and their comics crew. I want everyone watching or reading this to know that Bueller is one of the most realest people I know. He is everything that he portrays online and so much more. I'm proud to say that he was my first friend in Portland. Cheers to 150 episodes and your next adventure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
When I first met Eric, he told me about his kids, about the situation. Same exact one I was in. Exactly, almost identical. The difference was my ex moved away from Portland to Albuquerque and took the kids with her. So my kids knew Portland the whole time, and they were going somewhere new. And they were a little nervous, obviously. They were pretty young and stuff, and obviously I didn't want them to go. I did my best to try to prevent them from going, but honestly, they have a really wonderful mother, and she's been awesome, and a wonderful stepfather as well. And I want to say thank you to both of them for raising my beautiful children. They're great, and it was really hard. I remember that day, the very first day I took them to the airport and had to say goodbye. They were nervous. They were riding the airplane by themselves, and they were leaving Portland, their home, going to Albuquerque for the first time. And I was just trying to be strong, and I was really, as the kids got on the plane, I just lost it and started crying. And there was another father there that had did the same thing. He came up to me and he says, "This is the first time?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "It does get easier because feels so good when they come back." And he goes, "When they come back, all that goes away." And he was right, because it made all the moments when they came back more special. And I wanted to share that with Eric, because it did get better. Because I'd look forward to those days. I'd count down to those days so that they'd come back. And it made it easier. So whoever that gentleman was, thank you for putting your arm around me and helping me through that day. And the fact that I had got the opportunity to pass that along to Eric meant a lot. So Eric, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Wonderful, good friend. Damn it. All right. Okay. That was a tough one. Okay. Good guy. I got the next one here. Okay, let's try to compose ourselves. Okay. Jesus. Look at those two fat guys crying there. Oh my God.
It shouldn't be the final chapter. It should be the blubbering episode.
All right, so we took a little bit of breather there for a second, and here we go. I got the next one here. This is from Ghost Rider. Thank you, Ghost Rider. Coffee and comics viewing moments that I'll never forget is episode. It's the Raining Tooth. Apparently, that left an impression on a lot of people. My Monday morning began like, I like this, he describes it, began like normal with my must-watch favorite program. Two dudes talking about comic books, but not just any regular guys. These are big boys. Share a jolly friendship that's contagious and pulls you in. Sitting down with my bowl of cereal, I was excited to see what they were going to say next. As the episode began, our friend Bueller, without missing a beat, drops a tooth. Yeah, that is what it is. I was killing my bowl of cereal like a kid on Saturday morning. As a tooth goes down, milk comes up through my nose, and the bowl spills in my lap. And the show continues on, and Bob tossed in his comment, and now I was choking, laughing, crying, and cleaning my up cereal. Episodes of Coffee and Comics 1 through 150 are immortal and will live far past us old guys and gals. I'm excited for everyone's future and will always enjoy looking back at the past. Yeah. I didn't know what to do. I don't know how many times your tooth going to fall out.
You know what's funny about that episode is that you guys don't know this, but Bueller does this little dance video that he made up of me, that he took a clip from the show and he made this dance video. And when the tooth fell, my wife is really good at doing video cutting and things like that. And I was trying to get her to do the District 9 scene where the little module breaks off and you go in close and you watch it in slow motion go down. I was trying to make her do that video as a District 9 come side by side with your tooth detaching and going down in slow motion.
Well, it is what it is.
It is.
That's the only tooth I've lost. And like I said, I haven't replaced it. I just kind of got used to it.
There you go.
So, I don't know. Good times. This next one is from David Posner. He says, you were one of the first YouTubers I subscribed to when I got back into collecting a couple years ago. Your channel has been a huge asset to me as I hadn't collected for over 20 years and had a lot to catch up on. Thank you. It's hard to pin down a favorite moment, but I thoroughly enjoyed your and Bob's comic book wars and the heartfelt stories that came with them. But personally, my best moment was when you read a comment I made about FOMO, and I mentioned that I mentioned I experienced a lot of it trying to catch back up on all that I have missed. Something I never experienced collecting as a kid. I said that younger me would have been disappointed in older me. You and Bob responded so genuinely empathetic. You both really understood. That was when I stopped feeling like a subscriber and felt like a friend.
Thank you for that. That is way cool.
I remember that. I remember that was a comment that you said the younger me would be disappointed.
Yeah.
And it really did hit home for both of us.
It did.
And I remember reading that comment the first time. I was like, oh, that's something. That's something I want to take time to make sure we cover. And because, we've mentioned stuff like that in the past, about the younger collector in us and how innocent it was. I guess that's a good word to use, innocent.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how sometimes we miss that part of it. And it really did hit home when you said that. So I just wanted to say thank you for sharing that moment and sharing that specific thing. And you are a friend.
You are. And it resonated very deeply.
So, all right. Oh, okay, I got through those. Okay. You're up next.
All right. Next one comes from Adrian Kokodu, or Kojo Karu.
Yeah, that's good.
I used to watch only parts of the coffee show, but one day I stuck through to the end, and I noticed the "Was It Good" segment, and it made me burst into laughter.
Yeah.
The passion that you and Bob put into the questions and answers was really funny. Since then, I've watched the show from start to finish. Thank you. I also want to give a shout out to Robbie for his pick of the week intros. One of them said something like, Bueller is making me send these videos. That was a great one. I'm being held hostage.
Yeah.
That was funny. I see that you finally let him go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you for your efforts and good luck with the next shows. I look forward to see your travels.
Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed having Robbie do the pick of the week and stuff, and how incorporating Robbie on the show. We kind of dropped it because just me and Bob got so busy, we weren't reading a lot, so it was kind of hard for us to pick the pick if we weren't reading a lot of books.
Yeah.
And with everything that kind of went on, so I did let him go. He was in my basement and stuff like that. But it would be so neat because I'd call up Robbie and say, hey man, I need you to film me some of the clips. And so he'd send me like a 2-minute roll of like just the little snippets and stuff. He'd change his shirt and do them and stuff. And I just watch them all back to back and stuff. And they're all really funny.
That's awesome.
Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups. You're watching the all-new Coffee and Comic Show on Comics with Bueller, and my pick of the week is... Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups from Pop Culture Philosophers. Just found this interesting little creature on a space station. They called it a tribble. Shouldn't be too much trouble. Anyway, you're checking out the all-new Coffee and Comic Show, and my pick of the week is... Hey everybody, I'm Rockin' Robbie from Pop Culture Philosophers. Bueller's holding me hostage. He's telling me I have to keep sending in these videos or something bad's gonna happen. Anyway, my pick of the week is...
Absolutely.
And having Robbie, a great friend of ours, be a part of a segment, pick the pick, and to do our little Karnak, if people know who Karnak is. That's what that was from, with the envelope and stuff like that. And it was good.
The
good
driving
time.
back and forth was a heck of a lot of fun, and
you threatened to beat up that hippie's ass or something. I'm gonna kick that hippie's ass or something like that.
There's still people want to throw money down.
I know, that's pretty funny.
But Robbie's one of those guys that's as close as a brother, and I've never met him face to face, but I love him so much, and he's been a really good friend to both of us, and we really enjoyed having him on.
Very much so. So very cool.
All right, the next one comes from DJODGD, Danny Boy Peru.
No, you missed the Spiderweb.
Oh, let's talk Spiderweb. Sorry about that. Okay, so this one comes from Spiderweb. He says, "Say it's not so. I've had a lot of fond memories of this show. One was when you and Bob couldn't get that wooden box open from Two Brothers. That was great.
That was great.
I think a lot of fans were watching in suspense. I know I was. When finally got it open, boom, Iron Man #1. I'm going to miss the Monday morning laughs. No one can replace Bob or Sam. Can't wait to see the first Bueller Bus tour video. Be well, get better later."
The Bueller Bus tour is coming up soon. Actually, it's being worked on right now this morning. I just dropped it off to a place that they're doing something to the bus. Should be done on Friday. When that's done, it's done. And I'm really excited to show you a tour after that, because that's pretty much it as far as what needs to be done. I want to say thank you to Spiderweb. He sent me a Punisher figure.
Oh, nice.
And it's really cool because I have another Punisher figure. It's not that great. And so I've always been looking for a new one. And he got me a new one. So it's pretty really cool. It comes with a gun, but the gun looks like it came from something else because it's a little gun. And Punisher had a big gun.
Right.
So, but thank you, Spiderweb. I appreciate that. And, Spiderweb's been a good friend. I talk to him every now and then offline and stuff like that and he really does enjoy the show. He comments all the time and stuff. He's part of the family, and that's how I kind of feel. We're friends and family. Don't send friends and family. Just do goods and services.
Just do goods and services.
But, it's just awesome. So thank you. And he was a big fan of Sam as well. And I got to say, I've been extremely blessed to have Bob and Sam as my co-hosts for my shows. Nobody's been as blessed as I am. And good times.
I beg to differ because, I got chosen.
Oh, you were my only choice.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay. Hopefully he grows into it. And he did. I was like, you need a hat. You gotta have a hat, dude. You look like Humpty Dumpty up there. You gotta have a hat or
That's why
something.
this came about.
So, but seriously though, my Sam, unfortunately we lost Sam. And Bob, I did the BS show with Sam for 50, 60 episodes, and we did a bunch of other stuff, including Sam being on the coffee show a couple times, and just hanging out. And then let me take that back. I've had two tremendous co-hosts, but two tremendous friends, because we just hang out. It's like we don't just do this. Me and Sam didn't just do this. Most of the time, me and Sam just hung out.
Yeah.
And had coffee and talked about horrible stuff. That would not make it on YouTube.
Nope.
But anyway, we had fun, so, it's just, I'm very blessed to have these wonderful people in my life. So, all right, now you got the other one.
Yeah, DJ OG, Danny Boy Peru.
There you go.
He says, "Hi fellas, my favorite moment on the show has got to be the episode about what got me into comics. It was a very emotional and heartfelt episode that seemed to impact you both."
What about this one?
Travis and Bob, it was nice seeing that I wasn't the only person who used my home situation as a way to immerse myself into an imaginary gateway of fantasy and adventure. At the time, I had just gotten back into comics and had been using your videos to steer the comic book waters that I had not been on since the early 90s. Since you have helped to awake a newfound love of our hobby in me, which I have been enjoying and sharing with others. Thank you so much for the honesty and all the content you bring, and more importantly, thank you for helping me get back into the hobby. That's the type of stuff, man, that makes this so wonderful, is that people would make a choice to get into something or even back into the hobby based on something that we've done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love the comments like this when people let us know. But this is exactly the type of thing that you hope for, and are so blessed that when it actually comes to fruition, that somebody would actually get back into comics, the thing that we're most passionate about. Because of something that we did, it just is such a good feeling.
Yeah, I asked myself a long time ago, when I got back into comics and when I was doing the YouTube, I'm like, what as a person, if I wanted to get back in comics, and what would I want out of YouTube to help me get there and to take the baby steps to get back into the hobby I used to enjoy. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I've based my content on. Easy to watch, fun, informative, for the most part, and just casual, don't make it too overwhelming with a bunch of numbers flying at you everywhere, or get this, or you missed it, or
right.
And I really wanted something to really just, I wanted to be the guy holding the door open saying, hey, come on in, man, come on in and look around, stay as long as you want, and who knows, maybe you find something else, maybe you stay here at Comics with Bueller for a while, but then you find everything comics, or you find economics in comics, or whatever, but I just I look at myself as like just a doorman holding the door open saying, come on in,
the water's fine,
and the water, you're not going to get burnt, it's there's no allergic reactions or nothing,
mm-hmm.
And I think we've done a great job at that. I pride myself for making it easy for people to get back into collecting. If you want to get more detail and in depth, you can find that stuff through other people in the content. And we do as well. We get into some details. But if you want to get more focused on certain areas, there's plenty of that stuff out there for you. But I just wanted something in general for someone just to come hang out and talk about the comics and just have those conversations that we have at the comic shop with our buddies that we'd see every now and then on a Wednesday and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And if we can bring that to on this format, I think we did a good job at it. So I think we hit another home run. So
awesome.
Anyway, looks like I'm up. I like this one. This is from Harry Mesner. Hubba hubba, Harry. That's a little joke right there. Okay, coffee, comics, and comments. Okay, 15-minute shows. He kind of goes through the history of the show.
Yeah.
Snappy vest. Still got the vest. Pac-Man light. Pac-Man light's over there. And low tech. Very low tech. It was a first generation iPod sitting in a bunch of shoeboxes. Sam co-host, rest in peace. Yes, Sam was one of my first guests on the show. Paige co-host. The Coming of Bob. Sugar-free coffee. He's talking about you.
I know he is.
1 hour shows. Yeah, we just said forget it. We're just gonna go for it.
Yeah.
And topics appear. Name changes to New Coffee and Comics. The return of Paige. The COVID goodbye. I remember that. And the hello shows. Episode 100 with Keurig coffee, teeny cups. That's right. They're still up there. And Paige trying to stay excited. Yeah, she was like, more co-hosts. Jen and Bob, Bueller and Jen, Bob and Bueller. Everybody gets exclusives. There you go. Mystery boxes. And what would Robbie pick? More fun, more fun, more fun. I guess what I'm trying to say is from start to finish, it's been a fun ride. Thanks for so many episodes, your time, and all the laughs. Best to you in the future. And as Bob Hope would say, thanks for the memories. The show evolved. I mean, it really did. I mean, if you go back to episode 1, it's just me sitting there with literally blinking Pac-Man light. I had orange glasses on, and I wore the vest. I'm like, hey, I'm an idiot. And it was like 15 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And then it went like that for a few episodes, and I switched it to the out here on the couch and stuff, on the red couch. And then I had, I think Sam came on. I think my daughter was here for one. And then around episode 50, that's when I was introduced to Bob when he reached out to me. And I was like, hey, why don't you come on the show? And he had done other stuff on YouTube, and just not a lot of people have seen it, I'm like, oh, he'd be fine. And so he came on the show one week, and then I went back to just myself for the next week, and I'm like, hey, you want to come back? He's like, sure. And so he came back, and he's been there ever since.
Couldn't get rid of me.
And, almost for all of them, except for a few breaks here and there, and we had some lovely people fill in. I want to give a shout out to Ryan.
Dad Bob Shenanigans.
That's his name, Ryan. He was here a couple times. That was a lot of fun. Obviously, Damien's been on a few times. Mm-hmm. Jen has been on a few times. We've had guests. We had Justin Richards was on.
That's right.
We talked about Robbie, but Robbie was kind of on as well.
Yeah, he was part of the show.
And then having the four of us, for the Portland Comic Crew on one of the episodes, that was really great. And that's probably one of my favorite shows, to be honest.
Me too.
And just a lot of mystery boxes, revealing mystery boxes, different segments, stuff we didn't like, stuff we did like, and we just kind of evolved it. And after we kind of just gave up on how long we thought the show should be, we just said, we're just going to do it. It doesn't matter. If it's an hour or 2 hours long, who cares? We're just going to record and put whatever is out there. And honestly, there's hours and hours of footage you guys never saw.
Yeah, it's true.
That we cut, just like cut. And it's lost. I didn't keep any of it. So
I am so glad.
Yeah. So, but just really a good time, and just evolved through time. And episode 90, building the set and having that out there, and then just making it look like official, mm-hmm. And stuff. And I felt so good to do that, and the sponsors helping out with making that possible and everything, and that episode 90 really made me feel like, okay, this is actually a show. We were using a couple different cameras and doing some tricks and stuff like that. And it looked really cool, and all sorts of different little details kind of came in the way. So it's been a fun thing to put together. It's time consuming. It takes me all weekend to edit this and put it out, but it was always a blast in doing it. So
yeah, I remember when you first approached me, the format that you wanted to do was more like a fly on the wall. Just have cameras at many different angles, just recording our conversation, having it be as organic as possible. Yeah. And I remember you inviting me to come on, and we didn't have the ability to go the way that we wanted to originally, but you let the show kind of grow organically in and of itself, and it grew into what it did.
Yeah.
And it's been such a fun ride. It's been amazing to be a part of, and it's definitely, I'll just say it again, it's been one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah. It's been one of the highlights. All right. I got the next one from Jesus H. Christ. And they say, my favorite and fondest memory in this channel were every time Bob was uncomfortable reading my nickname. Which is a reference to Larry Flynn's desk plate. Love you guys. I am sorry the show ends, but everything must come to an end eventually. A Godspeed in the journey. Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny.
That is funny.
I'm not reading that. Well, anyway.
There's just certain lines I won't cry.
There you go. I was like, yeah, I know that. All right. You're up with our buddy, Comic Crazy Brian.
Brian says...
this is a good one, too.
It is. It really is. He said, someone actually cared about someone's opinion. That is the best part of your show. No matter how much we support other channels and comment in their stock ticker chats, only for it to whiz by to never be acknowledged, this show always gave the assurance that Bueller and Bob would see it. may acknowledge it, but at least it didn't go unnoticed. And too many supporters and valid opinions go unnoticed. The genuine feedback and honest interviews that are not planned and canned, as you both speak directly to the people who leave comments, is something I will miss dearly. Be swift after this for both of you guys. Thank you for 150 positive Mondays.
There you go.
That's awesome.
I got the opportunity to meet Brian a couple times now, and actually he came over and hung out, and we went out to eat and came and hung out at my place and just sat there and talked comics and just stuff in general for a few hours. Wonderful guy. I really enjoyed his shared with me a lot about the flight simulator, and really made me buy it. I actually went and bought the Xbox so I could play that flight simulator, because after he was telling me about it, because it sounded so cool. But he's right. Every comment that was left on the coffee and comics videos or for that videos, I read them all. I read every one of them, and tried to either put a like or a little whatever, you put your little thing on there or whatnot. Mm-hmm. But that was part of the show. Without it doesn't work, So it's like if I don't read them, I can't make the show. So I mean, it goes together. So getting to read all those points of view on the topic, because they're all topic based. Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on variants, first appearance, cameos? Getting to read all these different opinions on the same topic was so interesting for me, because it was just so random how many different points of views on one topic, where you would think it's like, oh, it's either A or B, Yeah. And it wasn't. There were so many different things to it. And it really opened my eyes. I can remember reading comments, and it literally changed my mind from what I initially thought, just by reading that one comment, I'm like, I remember reading a comment, it was back when I was really down on digital books. I was like, digital is a waste of money. I can't stand digital. And then I think Connie left a comment one time. She goes, well, I'm never really going to be able to buy Amazing Fantasy 15, but I'd love to read it. And then just reading that comment, I saw the value of a digital comic.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that in general. And I think it's made me a more rounded collector. I'm still a little picky or a little narrow-minded in some things, but I think honestly it's made me a more rounded collector and able to pick and choose more to my style, because I'm more informed because of you guys and what you guys have shared with me. So the comments mean a lot. They really do. And I remember asking someone one time, when the channel first started taking off, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of comments, and I'm really having a hard time trying to stay up with them. And he looked at me and goes, well, that's not a bad problem to have. And I go, you're right.
Right, exactly.
The problem would be if nobody commented.
Right.
So I'm like, he's right. It's not a bad problem. So it's not a problem. So you just do what you can. So every comment, rest assured for the coffee videos. Not saying all the videos, but for the coffee ones in general, for sure, because it's the most personal video I do. Mm-hmm. You can rest assured I read it and took it in the heart. So thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, my mind has been changed over time just by being a part of this and reading the comments and seeing different viewpoints and seeing that my viewpoint is not 100%. It was mine, but being able to have other feedback did help change my mind in a lot of areas. My collecting has changed since the start of the show quite a bit, and it was because of being driven by people's comments and what they were saying, and also being able to get some of those alternative viewpoints. Let me sit back and think for a second, and look at it from a different perspective, which if we're in relationship, that's what we're supposed to be doing. And so I'm very, very grateful to be a part of this, and for having you guys leave your comments and let you be your lives be a part of us. It's just been amazing.
Quite a relationship. You got Michael M. next.
All right, Michael M. says, hey guys, I collected comics from the mid-'80s up until 1993, when I sold most of my collection and went off to university the following year. Fast forward nearly 3 decades, after enjoying WandaVision and chatting with a few comic collecting friends, I decided to give the hobby another shot. I went on YouTube and your show popped up prominently. I became a regular viewer and Patreon member. YouTube, Michael Paul,
Yeah.
All right. You two helped renew my love of comics and got me full throttle back into the hobby. Your knowledge and passion is as inspiring as it is infectious. I have enjoyed the shows, the auctions, getting to know you both better, including a surprise birthday call with Bueller. That's awesome. Thank you, Bob and Bueller, for the insight, inspiration, and laughs. I look forward to following and supporting your future ventures in whatever form they may take. Michael Michaud, Canada.
So his wife would reach out to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this is, I always get a little nervous, to be honest. A little,
Apprehensive?
Yeah. Well, not apprehensive, but just like his wife reached out and said, my husband's a big fan. Mm-hmm. And she's like, his birthday's coming up, and she goes, I want to set up if you'd be interested on calling him up for his birthday, and I guess there's some like you can have like celebrities do that and stuff.
Really?
They'll call you, hey, happy birthday, Rick, or whatever it is, and stuff like that. So she was trying to set that up, and she's like, oh, she goes, how much? I'm like, it doesn't cost nothing. I'd love to, and he's a fan of the show and what makes the show run. And so we set it up and stuff, and then I called him on his birthday or however it was, and I got to meet Michael, and we sat there and talked for over an hour, as normally it does with me. It's like you think maybe it'll be a few minutes. Now it's like an hour, 2, 3 hours
right.
goes by, because I end up just talking about random stuff, whatever is on my mind, and really enjoyed Michael and talking to him and meeting his wife, and he shared with me some of the books that he bought from the Sam's auction and my auction as well and stuff, and he just bought something there earlier. I think I had done Sam's auction that weekend as well. I think a Secret Wars or something like that. And so I mean, I always get a little, maybe gun shy, I guess, when it comes to people like, oh, you're Bueller or whatnot, and I try to my dad had a friend, Michael. It's kind of funny. Michael was a very prominent guy in like the music industry, like really well-known producer, multi-millionaire, just like a top of the guy, hangs out with celebrities and the writers and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, I want to talk to that guy. I want to meet this guy, talk to him. And every time I talk to him, he'd be like, how are you? Tell me about you. It was never like he wanted to brag. He always he made you the attention, that he wanted to get to know you, even though this guy's life was 100 times more interesting than mine. He always put the emphasis on you. Mm. And that left a mark on me to where, I understand that people want to meet Bueller or meet Bob and talk to them, but I want to hear about you guys. I want to hear what got you into comics, what you enjoy, stuff like that. So that is always in my mind when I meet someone. And I don't want it to be about me. I want it to be about them. Because the other one's taking their time to come and get to know me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the time to get to know them as well. So, but it's just moments like that in time that you try to base your life around. And that's one of them for me. So.
Absolutely. There are times that I also regret. When it comes to people that have reached out to us on the show. Brian from Comic Crazy, I met him at Rose City Comic Con, and we never hooked up. He wanted me to color something on a book, but I was talking with him through email, and he was coming out here to Portland, and ended up having a medical emergency with my family, and I never got to meet him here. We never got to meet face to face, and I always regretted that. But over time, Brian and I have talked many times through email. We've sent each other packages. He's an awesome brother. I love him very much. And he's just one of those that,
You guys should go out to dinner together.
What's that?
You guys should go to dinner together.
I hope we get to do that.
There's a place I heard called Stanley Meats.
You just won't let that go, will you? Anyway, Brian, I love you, man. And but instead on the other end of things, that there are people that I never made the connection with that I always wanted to, and I love hearing stories like that. So very cool.
All right, I got the next one here. Looks like DC Patrol says, I don't have a favorite memory per se. It's more of a blanket or comfort you provided since the pandemic started. I was content to buy and read my books alone with no friends and no one to talk to. But once I discovered your channel, right before or as the pandemic started, you very quickly became my home for good-natured comic goodness. Both you and Bob, though neither really DC guys, represented a different size of collecting, and that helped me find my own way back into the hobby. I guess one moment I really found funny was right before the show ended, a first and final 5 comment actually fell. It was a while ago now, but it feels like it was only a few days ago because it did happen a few days ago. Again, it was shocking, kind of sad, but also funny. Sorry, my memory sucks. A true and sincere, heartfelt thank you goes out to both of you and Bob. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you sharing yourselves and even including your family on here. It's the original, true, genuine spot on YouTube for comic lovers. You've inspired many, and the comic world is a better place for it. Be well, friends. Grateful that you're both still around to do your own things. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we dropped. Bob was drip dropping the other day all day long.
On the auction, I must have dropped like $5.
Luckily, we got the crash pillow down below, and it covers them. So,
yeah.
And then I dropped a book last week, and it wasn't it was those books.
Yeah, okay.
They were thicker.
Whatever your excuse is, it's okay.
Yeah. I'm usually I got big hands, man. I should be able to handle it. But it's the random moments that happen like that. They're fun. We never try to okay, cut. We're not going to do that and then reshoot it. We just kind of what the hell? It is what it is. We're laughing. We're having fun. They're probably going to have fun with it too. And so we just leave it in. It doesn't need to be perfect.
Right.
And that's not what we went for this. We are far from perfect. And who wants to watch that? You know?
Yeah.
And we just enjoy it and have a good time. And whatever comes up, whatever dumb thing comes out of our mouth, we just go with it, and people seem to enjoy it. So
yeah, that's for sure. Well, dumb things come out of my mouth all the time.
I know. Trust me, I know. All right, I got the very last one here from Mick Mo. Mick Mo, you were the very last comment that we were reading on the Coffee and Comics show. Mick Mo says, "Hi, Bueller and Bob. I only have positive memories of the show, and it really was a highlight of my comic week. One special show that stands out is episode 99, when the Portland comic crew assembled. Like the YouTube version of the Avengers. All my favorites in one place, and talking comics with his buddies. Always brought the best out of Sam. Thanks for the memories, guys, but I'm so excited for what comes next." That's, like I said, that's my favorite show. I mean, with the 4 of us and stuff. I always enjoyed my daughter being on here and a couple times and stuff, but that was the only time that the 4 of us got together. We did a couple live things together.
Yeah.
But that was the only time we all got together for the coffee show. And I can remember us just standing behind that counter like, how's this going to work?
Right.
Because we didn't have enough chairs. And the chairs that we used, the other chairs are like 6 inches shorter, so it looked like a wave. Sam's like 5 feet tall, and stuff. And so I was like, I'll stand. And so we all stood. Okay, we're like, okay, we'll just go left to right and back and forth and stuff. And the one thing I said, and I go, the microphone's in the middle. Okay, I go, make sure when you talk you face the microphone, at least, because if you face the other direction, it's not going to pick you up. So I'm on the outside, you're on the outside, then Damien's in the inside on the left side, and Sam's on the inside on the right side. Sam's next to me. And every time Sam would go to talk, he'd turn to me the opposite way. He would turn and he'd respond to me directly.
Right.
And I'd be like, he'd be talking to me, Sam, don't tell me, tell Damien. Because I'm not telling him that to tell Damien. I'm telling him so he turns towards the microphone.
Right.
And talks into the microphone. And there's 3 times in that thing, I'm like, don't tell me, tell them, But every time it was his turn to talk, he'd look right at me and start talking to me and stuff. And we didn't really cut on that one either. I don't think that we shot that one straight through. But it was a fun time to get us all 4 of us there. We're the original 4, the Portland Comic Crew. We've expanded since then. And it was just a really fun show to talk about our favorite books, why they were our favorite books, and different points of view and different. What was that the one with Damien with the dudes not wearing shirts or something like that?
Yeah.
We had Final 5 for all of us and the first 5 for all of us and stuff. So there was tons of books being shown, and
it was a great episode.
It was a good time. So that's a very fond memory to have you guys all there. And what was it? He said the episode number was 99.
99.
So that was a lot of fun.
That was our first time being together after the whole COVID thing hit.
Yes.
And so it was special on many different levels.
Yeah.
And it was just so good to be able to see and hang out with my friends again.
There you go.
And that's what it was all about. We just had fun. And it'll always be a memory and a highlight. So.
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that with us, Mick Mo, and I was glad that we got to cover that. And like I said, Mick Mo is the last comment that we read on the coffee and comic show. But we're not done with the show. We're probably when we get to the wrapping up the show, we're probably gonna be crying like idiots again. But we're gonna move on to the next segment. Try to keep our mind off it for a little while. But that segment was brought to you by blackboxcomics.net. Go to their website and code Bueller 10. You save 10% on all their good stuff. Wilder, and Rashid Kage and all that stuff. Let's go to our final 5. Okay?
Unbelievable.
This is the final 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. Bomb?
Yep.
Go ahead, buddy.
Just for you, my friend, because I know this is one of your favorite artists, I brought a bunch of Funky Cold Matina covers.
Funky Cold Matina.
And so we got Batman number 69. Who said I'm not a DC lover?
69, dude.
We got Batman number 81. And then we got Batman number 85. Batman number 96. And Batman number 97.
Nice.
All Matina covers.
Funky Cold Matina.
Funky Cold Matina.
If you ever see Matina live, you gotta call him Funky Cold Matina.
Have to.
And he said, Bueller sent me.
Yeah, just slug him in the arm and say, that's Bueller.
I'd like to know if he knows.
He probably does.
It'd be interesting. Because he's from overseas.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right, this is my final 5. And these books are courtesy of Bird City Comics, too. Dog Days, Book 1, Stray Dogs. Not bad at all. That's the Goosebumps edition. Here we go. We got the Department of Truth.
The Nakayama version.
Nakayama version. I didn't know that. We got Department of Truth. Conspiracy Curse. This is also the Goosebumps one. And then we have another Goosebumps Ice Cream Man. I don't know what issue numbers these are, but they're kind of going with a theme for those Goosebump ones. Mm-hmm. And the very last one is another Department of Truth book here. I don't know what number it is, but you know what? It don't matter. It's pretty cool looking right there.
Those are nice.
Yeah. So thank you, Bird City Comics, for sending those. And thank you for everyone for the final 5 brought to you by Bird City Comics. And look at this. And the code Bueller, save 10% on all the good stuff at Bird City Comics, including these books I'm assuming right here. So
yeah,
there you go.
There's memories just with these first and final 5s.
I know.
There are times when I'm just going through to try to pick the perfect ones. There's other ones that I completely forget.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing books as I'm running out the door.
Yeah. I've done that, trust me. So let's move on to our Was It Good segment. This is a smaller one because Bob had a busy week. I only read a couple books myself. Mm-hmm. But our Was It Good segment is brought to you by Comics on Coffee. And they got that new blend that's Star Killer one.
The Irish Cream blend.
The Irish Cream, I like it. It's really good. They sent me. Did you get yours?
I haven't got it yet.
Yes. Last time you got yours before mine.
I know.
Ridiculous. It's really good.
All right.
So
it is.
Phantom
Hopefully.
Star Killer, right?
Phantom Star Killer.
Yeah, there you go. Go check it out. Enter my name. You get 15% off.
15% off.
It's pretty, and you get a free copy of the book and bonus stuff. So anyway, all right, those are my books. You want to do it?
Yep. All right. So the first one is Scumbag, and this is issue number 12 from Image Comics.
Nice.
And Bueller.
Yes.
Was it good?
What do you think?
I think you loved it.
I loved it, man. Actually, it was kind of toned down.
Was it? Not as toned down scumbaggery?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of scumbaggery. There was a little bit, but not enough.
Just enough to like wet your beak?
Oh, a couple beaks got wet.
Okay.
It wouldn't be scumbag if somebody didn't get their beak wet.
I bet, yeah.
But normally there's like a dozen wet beaks.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I haven't read it since the first issue, so I wouldn't know, my friend.
Yeah, you do. But it's one of my favorites. It's been a while since this issue came out, or since the last issue, I mean. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Still love the light sense of humor. It's not for everybody. It's raunchy. It's the Benny Hill of comic books right now. And I love Benny Hill.
Benny Hill.
Yeah. You ever watch Benny Hill?
Yeah.
Remember when he tapped that bald guy in the head? That's how I look at you and feel like I just want. Yeah. Scumbag. Awesome.
All right. So your next one is a crossover number 11.
Yes.
Donny Cates flagship.
Yep.
And Bueller.
Yes, Bob?
Was it good?
Yeah. I've been talking about this book for a while. I've been telling people to keep your eye out for it. I've been talking about issue 12. I've been talking about issue 11. I read this one last week. I saw all the spoilers in it. Spoilers right now since it's been out. It's now including the Walking Dead universe. Negan shows up at the end here.
That's the big reveal.
That's a pretty big reveal. But the issue 12, the one I've been telling people to get for over a year, before this book even started coming out, because we had some inside information from Justin Richards. And now here we are. Issue 12 is coming out, and they've already said, yeah, this is the one to get. Get it. It's going to be big. And Justin was right. So that's pretty
Have you already seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay.
But that's what they're marketing it as. They introduced Negan, and now it's just going to blow up. So I really love this issue. I knew, like I said, it was a setup to number 12. Donny Cates writes himself into the story, kind of writes what's going on and everything. He was in the last issue as well at the very end. But a very meta book, that's kind of what he's going for. But definitely get this one, and definitely get a couple issues of number 12. I like it. It's one of my favorite books going on right now. And it's not the last issue. There's still more, I believe. So they're just getting started. I don't know how long it goes, but it's not the last issue. So
sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man.
Very cool.
You didn't read nothing.
I didn't read anything.
You're a busy man.
I still haven't got my books this week.
Why?
Because I'm busy right now.
You know what?
What?
Just go get them.
I will.
Just like, hey, I'm going to get my books.
I was getting ready for the auction, man. I got the whole house thing going on.
I don't? I don't have nothing going on?
You read 2 books. You don't work during the daytime either, do you?
What do you think all this is? Okay. Magically appears?
How long did it take you to set this up?
Hours.
All right, man. All right.
Yeah, nice try there, pal. Whatever, pumpkin spice.
All
right, so that's our Was It Good segment.
Thank you, Cinnamon Bun.
The Cinnamon Bun. Brought to you by, what's that place called?
Comics on Coffee.
Comics on Coffee. You go to their website, enter code Bueller, you save 15%. And they got a new blend coming out eventually. It's going to be really cool.
It's going to be really cool.
It's going to be all jacked up. Yeah. Some dude on a vest might even make an appearance.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be really cool. So there you go. That's our Was It Good segment. We're going to move right along to our final random thoughts. And brought to you by our Patreons. Scout Comics, whatnot, all that good stuff. We're just going to talk about really quick Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Or, as we like to refer to it now, as Mandalorian Season 3.
Yeah, and there's a rumor going around that Boba Fett will actually make an appearance on the show.
Yeah, maybe. Spoilers, sorry. This last episode was Luke Skywalker was in like the whole episode, and like he looked decent.
He did. They did the better CGI than the first time we saw
I mean, I thought for probably 90% of it, it looked really good.
It did.
There's a couple little shady things here and there, but for the most part, and it was like during the daytime, when it was light out, it wasn't dark, there's no shadows or anything that they're hiding behind. It was like bright daylight, wide open spaces, and just like, there's his face, he's talking and stuff, and I thought it looked great. And it was like, what are they actors for anymore?
Right. We're getting there.
Yeah. But I really enjoy a lot of stuff happened in the episode.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Including Luke Skywalker with the little baby Yoda guy, and then they got the other dude from Justified. He got killed.
No, he didn't get killed.
Oh, he's not killed?
No.
That's too bad. But they got that really upset Muppet guy showed up, and he was...
What, Cad Bane?
Yeah, Muppet.
Muppet.
He looks like a Muppet on crack. He showed up doing this thing. He's walking around, and stuff. But a whole bunch of stuff going on. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I am loving it because one of the things I did in the last couple of years is I went back and watched all the rest of the episodes of Clicks. I only watched like the first season. It was kind of too campy for me in the very beginning, but I kept hearing that there's some really, really amazing stuff that happened. So I went back and I watched all the rest of Clone Wars, and then I also watched all of Rebels. And I'm so glad that I did.
Oh, you got time, huh?
This was way back when, yeah.
Oh, sure. Couldn't pick up your books, but could watch randomly episodes of cartoons all day long.
Not this week.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. Anyway, I'm glad I watched those because all these little nuggets that are happening inside of The Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett are amazing. Cad Bane showing up. Last season we got, Bo-Katan. And I'm absolutely loving it. I love this episode. I wasn't expecting to see Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I knew that he would probably see Luke, he'd see Grogu because he's going to bring the armor to him. I was really hoping we'd get to see Grogu with a lightsaber. You know, that's going to definitely be coming. But
maybe.
No, it will.
Maybe he doesn't want the lightsaber.
Maybe he doesn't, but I mean, everything that they're doing with him, where he's at with Luke, is foreshadowing that he's going to leave his training, right? Just like Luke did, just like Ahsoka did, because they're both there on that planet. We know that, Ben Solo, Kylo Ren.
That didn't go well.
He completely burns that place down. So it's not the safest place in the galaxy.
No.
And so it's foreshadowing that he will be leaving, and I hope that he has some lightsaber time when he does, because that'd be cool for him to go and try to save Mando, right? Because that's kind of what Luke did. He tried to go save his friends. So we'll see. It's all foreshadowing that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Look,
Next episode is the last.
This is deep.
Deep, man. It's deep. Good. I enjoyed every minute of it.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
you needed to.
I geeked out.
You needed this.
I did need it, man. I've had a really stressful week.
Yeah, and now you got Boba Fett. Is there some other shows going on?
There. The only other one I watched this week was Peacemaker.
Oh yeah, you liking that still?
I love that one.
You like that?
Yeah.
John Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny as all get out. Funny as all get out.
I haven't watched it yet.
You'll love it.
Yeah, I don't want it.
You don't want it?
No.
I'm not telling you have to watch it. I'm just saying.
Don't tell me what I have to watch.
Okay.
I hate that.
Jeez.
Oh, that's our random. That was it. We don't really have anything more to talk about on the random thoughts. But we just wanted to talk about that because that was pretty significant to see the Luke Skywalker coming back, and
yeah,
I don't know how they did it, but they did it.
It's amazing.
Amazing technology, man. Maybe they can make us thinner and younger looking.
We'll be on an episode of Mando. Just
add a tooth back.
There you go.
Add a tooth, take away some pounds.
Mm-hmm.
We'd appreciate that. Add some hair too.
You could be a stand-in for Ed Helms on the next Hangover.
Yeah, I could do that. He was actually missing that tooth.
Yeah, I watched Hot Ones the other day.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Had time to watch that, huh?
I did have time to watch that. It was 15 minutes.
You just dig a little deeper, you find out all sorts of information. Anyway. You know what? That's all the segments in the show. And we are to the very end of the show. And so I just want to take a minute to really say thank you to everyone who's ever watched the show. Whether you don't watch it anymore, or you only watched one, or you watched a minute of it, or you watch every single episode, and anyone in between. If you give me any amount of your time to watch this show, thank you. That's what it's there for. It's there for you guys. It's there to include people in the community, to bring us all closer together and just really have a nice, good time together. Everyone in the chat right now, like I said, there's usually 100, 150 people watching with us in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. Thank you guys for always showing up. Some of the names, XX Sean's always there, Roger's always there, James is always there. I'm forgetting a ton of them, but they're always there. obviously our buddy John's there, Eric is there, Andrew. I mean, just the list goes on, and they're there week after week after week, and it's just so awesome to see. And it's like sometimes you don't see someone for a while, and you're like, oh, I wonder if they're okay. Mm-hmm. Or I wonder if I said something to piss them off.
Right.
That's the case too. That's happened a few times.
Yeah.
But it's been just a tremendous ride. I knew it was eventually going to come to an end after my decision last year when I announced what I wanted to do. And I remember Bob and I talking about that, like, oh, what are we going to do? It's coming to an end. And a lot of people are like, oh, no, don't want it. And I'm sad to see it come to an end, but I'm excited to see what I get to do next.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm excited to travel and to see the world and to meet you in person, to go to your house, to hopefully have the same conversation we're having right now, but in person. And really enjoy that time. And Bob said this before, my family's here in Oregon. I'm going to be back through here many times. So I'll be, once every month or twice or once every 2 months or something like that. But I'll be here quite a bit. This is my home base. So, I mean, me and Bob are still going to be doing stuff together, left and right.
Absolutely.
But just unfortunately, just not this show.
Yeah.
And, but this has been my favorite show from the very first one all the way up till this one. It's been my favorite show week after week to put together. Having Bob come on board just really made it something special to me. Having someone next to me to have that conversation with, listen to Bob say the things he says and the way he collects and the differences that we share in our collecting and stuff. Although we have a lot of differences, but it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. And I'll give him shit forever, and he'll give me shit forever and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And it's just fun, because I wouldn't want someone next to me that does exactly the same thing I do. Nobody wants that wouldn't be fun. You want a variety. I think you get that in the two of us.
Absolutely.
And that's what's made it so much fun. Him, you guys, everyone who's been here, all our guests on the show, the sponsors who helped make it happen. It's just I can't say thank you enough. And 150 episodes, I'll take it. So, Bob, you got anything to say?
Yeah, I just want to let you know how special you've been to me. As you guys know, gosh, here we go.
I knew this was coming.
As you guys know, I've been through some difficulties in the last year health-wise. I went through a huge bout of depression, still dealing with. And even when I wasn't making videos on my own show, it was still the highlight of my week to come here and hang out with you. And no matter what I was going through, you always had a way of making me laugh and comforting me. And that's not an easy thing to do. And I just want to let you know how special that has been to me. And I love you very much, man. And that not doing this week over week going forward, that's something that I'm going to lament. But I'm also equally excited because you get to do some fantastic and amazing things coming up. But this has been a very special thing for me. And I just wanted to say here on the show at the end, thank you for all the memories. And I can't wait for the new ones going forward. Because this has been an amazing ride. I've been so privileged to be a part of it with you, man. Thank you.
One thing he'd come over and, I think a few months back I said something to you. I said, Bob, what's going on? You just haven't been yourself lately and stuff. And I kind of took it, when you come over and we do this, I kind of made a point to try to get you to smile and get you to forget all the stuff that's going on, because you're a busy guy and you got a lot on your plate. And I just wanted to, for that couple hours that we're here, give you a chance to smile and say something dumb and just laugh a little bit, and and I think that's kind of I've said it before, I think that's kind of the base of the show. Just take a break from life every day.
Yeah.
come sit down with us, enjoy it. There's still 150 episodes. They're not going anywhere. You can go back and watch them. I know many people have gone back and watched the back category.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed them. And, and just have fun for an hour or 15 minutes up to 2 hours.
Right.
And, but really, Bob, thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the opportunity to call you my co-host. And appreciate you coming back, man.
Absolutely.
And I tried to make it really nice for him every time you come over here. I go, Bob, just sit down, buddy. Here you go. Just read these words. I got everything covered.
He's not lying. He's all, Bob just shows up. He's not lying. That's what I do. I just show up. He's got everything taken care of.
He's the best shower-upper ever. So, but it's just been great. And I'm happy. I'm sitting there right now. I've shed some tears in this episode. I'm at the very end. I'm happy. And I'm happy because it's meant so much to everybody. It's meant as much to them as it has me.
Absolutely.
And that's all I can ask for. So, anyway, Bob.
Yeah.
This is it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do it?
So this is for his channel going forward. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.